All right. So the first most important thing while doing makeup is that you need to have take care of your skin. So when I say take care of your skin, you should have a routine into order. The morning routine, the nighttime routine, because when you cleanse and tone your skin and exfoliate your skin on a daily basis and exfoliate maybe 2 to 3 times a week, then you make a good canvas for your makeup to take place on. Okay, because if your makeup is not a lot of the times I get people who say that I want that flawless look, that flawless finish. That only comes if you start taking care of your skin. All right, so I would say that wow, the lighting is weird here, but so start with a good skincare routine. Make sure you cleanse, tone, and exfoliate your skin regularly. Okay, now having said that, once your skincare routine is established, then comes the makeup part. Now, the first and most important thing in makeup is hydrating your skin, because whether you have first knowing what your skin type is, you could be dry, you could be oily, you could be a T-zone. T-zone means that there is that this part of your face, the T of your face, gets oily, whereas you have dry patches on the sides of your face. Then you have combination. Combination could be, again, the T-zone area where half of it gets oily and half of it gets dry. And some people have seasonal skin. So seasonal skin is that in the summers it gets oily, and in the winters it's usually dry, blotchy, and patchy. So having said that, you need to make sure that you hydrate your face very, very well. For me today, me personally, I have combination skin, so this part of my face gets oily, dry, and I get a T-zone area which gets oily from time to time, not all the time. And especially around this area, I oil a lot because I don't know, but I just have this really oily area, so I really need to take care of this part of my face. Then comes the primer. Primer is very, very important, again, because as we grow, as we age, we have our pores, they become more and more visible. So when our pores become more visible, and we put makeup on top of those open pores, then the makeup sits inside those pores and causes other skin issues. So which means that you have to be very, very careful in choosing a primer, because the primer is what sits in your pores and makes a Okay, so primer again. Now hydration, which is moisturizing of your skin, then there comes primer, then comes your foundation. Foundation also comes in different textures, so you need to see which medium works for you at best. So you've got liquid, you've got mousse, you've got stick foundation, you've got BB creams with textures, so you need to see which medium works for you at best. So you've got liquid, you've got mousse, you've got stick foundation, you've got BB creams, which are not really foundations, they're tinted moisturizers, but you need to see what kind of coverage you require. Then the next important step is correcting and concealing. Now correcting is for the dark spots of your face. A lot of us have a battle with pigmentation and dark circles and darkness around the lips and the chin area. So that's when you have to correct your skin. And some of us have acne spots, like blemishes. So that's where correcting comes in between, into play. Okay, so once you have corrected your skin, then you need to conceal it. Now concealers, those of you who require correcting, then they need to use concealers which are 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. And when I was talking about foundation, a very, very important thing about foundation is that most of us end up going and buying the exact same color of our foundation, which is really not always the best thing to do, because when you buy a shade exactly like your foundation, 90% of the foundations, they oxidize. So oxidize means they get darker. So which means that if you are buying your own shade and after a little while, your foundation shade will actually make you look a skin shade darker. Now, a lot of the times this is not, there's no issue with this saying that, I want to look lighter or I want to look darker. That's not the issue. The point is that foundation oxidizes. So yeah, so once the foundation oxidizes, then it makes your face look dull. So a lot of the times people come to me with these concerns that my face starts looking dull, my foundation starts wearing off, I don't look fresh after, you know, even wearing makeup, and my makeup wears off basically. So this is one of the reasons, and your setting spray, which I will come to in the end. Then comes, now that we've done foundation, correcting, concealing, comes your contour and highlight. Now contour, the main purpose of contour is to create an illusion that you have a slimmer face or you have more chiseled features. So the purpose of contour is not to make you look like someone you are not, okay? So this is a misconception that has to be crossed and has to be like accepted by a lot of people. So again, so contour, it's very, very important that the contour is just barely used to make an illusion, to create an illusion on your face, all right? And then comes the highlight. The highlight is done on the high points of the face to make the contour more prominent, because when you, for humans, like the eye, the first thing it catches is light. So when you see a person's face, so you end up seeing the highlight first, so that's what pops out. In makeup language, we use the words pop out. So like if on my face you can see I have used a highlight here, I have used a highlight here, you know, my contour is not very, very sharp, but you can, you know, now that you can see, like I'm showing you an up close, the up close and personal look of it. So that's what the purpose of contour and highlight. Okay, now the other very important thing is brows. Okay, now your brows, again, please do not overdraw your brows, because your brows already have a natural shape, and if you do anything to overdraw them, then they will show and it will make it look very unnatural. So the main purpose of makeup should be to enhance your features and not try to create the features that are not there or not existent. All right, because that's how you make your makeup look absolutely as natural as possible and as flawless as possible. Then now comes lips, the lip contouring. Now, as you can see, my lips are not very full and they're not very thin. So you should learn the key to contour lips. Contour means to outline and to again create an illusion for fuller lips, because everybody likes fuller lips. So what you do is you use a lip pencil to create that illusion that you've got a nicely outlined lip. And then you add on with a lipstick so that it creates that fullness that you are trying to achieve. I hope I get to entertain you guys while I do this. So I have my model here. I'm going to start with her. She's a lovely, lovely, lovely girl, and I'm dying to do my makeup on her. I'll show you my makeup in natural light. Okay. So as you can see, it doesn't look too overdone. Okay, and now I'm going to show you my makeup in the ring light. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys that it's just about using the right techniques and getting the techniques right, because when you get the techniques right and you practice them on your face, then you get that perfect makeup look that you were trying to achieve. All right, guys, so now I'm going to start with my makeup on my lovely friend here. Okay guys, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what kind of skin she has. She has an oily T-zone, and over here it's not dry, it's not oily. Okay, so it's normal around this area, and over here, as you can see, there's a very strong shine. So this is a combination T-zone skin. All right, now the first rule is that you need to see that, I mean, never think that the makeup is, I mean, the face is clean, okay? Even though she's come with a clean face, make sure that you clean your face very, very well before you start makeup. Because if there is any sort of residue or any sort of, you know, dust on your face, it will mix with your makeup and create skin issues, first of all, and then also not make your makeup look flawless, obviously. Okay. So now that we've got a clean face, I'm going to give it a second to dry out. And All right, so the hydration oil that I'll be using right now, again, her skin is oily, so I'm not going to use it on the T-zone. I will only use it around this area. I have recently started using it, and I really, really like this. It's the Beautify by Amna. You see the misconception that, oh, I have oily skin and I don't need to, I already have my oil being produced on my skin, so I don't need hydration, which is not the case. Oily skin also needs to be hydrated, because what happens is that dry skin patches and oily skin actually starts producing more oil because it thinks that, okay, because I'm not being hydrated enough, I need to start producing more oil. So you become all right. Okay. So now that I've hydrated her face, you can see it's still a little bit shiny. I'm going to give it a few minutes to sink in and let her skin absorb in this area. Okay. I have not used anything in the T-zone area. And what I will do, how I work with oily skin, is that you will have to powder the face after you are done with the foundation. Okay. So now that I was saying that I like to do the eyes first, because most of the time I work with smoky eyes and there's a fallout. And if you fix your face before and then do the eyes, then there is very, very few times there is no fallout. And I don't like baking my face where you put a ton of a ton of loose powder on your face and translucent powder on your face, and then you sort of brush it off. I feel that adds to the cakiness of the face. So that's why I like to work as I go. I like to build up my makeup. So I'm going to start with doing her eyes first, and I will be sharing all the products that Tamanna uses and that Samer Khouzami used in his class. One thing I have to make it aware to you guys: Samer Khouzami only uses his products. He has an entire range of products. So he uses his foundation, he uses his his primer. He has a Hydro Boost primer, and his all his brushes. So a lot of things I will be juggling between what Tamanna uses, what I use, all right, so I really like using Morphe brushes. I know a lot of people have preferences, like some people like MAC, some people like Morphe, Sigma. These are all the brushes that are in the market. Personally, I like using Morphe. I think they're more economical, and they do the job. They're really nice brushes to use. So I don't change between 10 brushes all the time. Okay, I only try to use minimum brushes, so that I don't have to, unless I'm working on a client, of course, then I start using, I keep different brushes for different things. But if I'm working on one person and I need, a base brush, an eyeshadow brush by Morphe, okay, and this one is a fluffy brush, okay, by Morphe as well. So this is what you use for blending, and this is what you use usually for. All right, okay, so now what Tamanna usually uses to set a base, a base for your eye makeup is very important, because a lot of the times it makes your makeup, I mean, not a lot of the times, the purpose of it is that it makes your makeup last, your eye makeup, because you're working with powders. When you are putting powders on just plain skin, what happens is, when it comes in contact with the rest of your day, with air, with oxygen, it starts sort of flying off. So what a primer, an eyeshadow primer, does is that it sort of creates a sticky base for the makeup, for the eyeshadows to sit on, so they end up lasting longer. This is how we work with brides as well. So one product that Tamanna uses, and she absolutely loves, is the MAC Paint Pot. This is in soft ochre. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Close your eyes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this all over her eyelids. Now, as you can see that there is this, now this is a base for the, just look here. You can unevenly spread it, don't worry, this is not going to show. All the colors will take over the, open your eyes for me. Yeah, okay, close your eyes. Make sure you get the nooks and crannies of the eyes as well, because you don't want your eye shades to fall off from one side and be stuck on the other. So again, this is an amazing product. I love it, and it works very, very well for me. Another one that's very easily available in Pakistan is the Luscious Cosmetics Primer, eye primer. That's really, really nice as well. Okay. All right. All right. So now what I'm going to be doing on her eyes is a glittery, smoky look, okay, which I have learned from both Khouzami and Tamanna. So I'm going to sort of integrate it and teach it to you guys. Okay, so now that I've put the base on her eyes, I'm using the Huda Beauty palette. Okay, I'm going to use a base color. You can use your translucent powder or your face powder, compact powder, whatever it is, just to sort of dab it on the entire eyelid. It's a base color, again over here, so that it's not too sticky. You understand? And because she's got oily skin, we need to work with powders more than cream. Okay. So I've just dusted it on her eyelid. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a crease. Now Mubin, look at the camera. She has hooded eyes, okay, which means when she opens her eyes, most of her eyelid goes into the socket of her eye. So see, close your eyes, please. See, so now if I'm going to work all over here, and then I'm going to open my eye, open your eye. So you see how it disappears. So we will. Yeah, so I'm going to create a crease around her eye so that it sort of elongates and magnifies her eyes. So that's what I'm going to do now. So now what I'm going to take is a base color from, this is one that Tamanna uses. This is the Tarte palette. I got this from Tamanna, by the way. I love this. Thank you so much, Tamanna. If you're watching me, I don't think you're watching me, but okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little brown shade over here. Can you see that? Yeah, that one. Okay. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to sort of create a crease. Now you will because you want to make her eyes more, so when you work with the eyes, what Sami Khouzami does is, this is one of his tricks. His eyes, if you notice, are very elongated and they're very prominent. He works a lot on the eyes. So what he does is he extends the eye to the outer rim of the face, okay, outer corner of the face. So like I am working till here, Sami Khouzami would probably take the color all the way till here, because that will make the eyes look more and more prominent. The longer, because they will elongate the eyes. So the more you stretch the color out, and you can always work with the eyeliner and waterline, the color that you're going to use to, to make. Okay, so now as you can see, there is this crease that is forming, and it's going to give a very warm depth to the eyes. And what happens is that now I'm going to add different colors to it. I'm going to use a little bit of pink because I like the way pink glows on the face. Okay, it complements our skin tone. So I'm going to use a little bit of this pink. I know it looks like it's very sharp, but it's not going to once it starts mixing with colors. Okay, so you see that, how it's going to create a beautiful, like it's going to mesh together and create this beautiful color that you will. Okay, and when you work with the face, you mostly do everything in V. Always remember that in eye makeup. Okay. So now don't worry about all that will fall on the ends of the eyes. A lot of people use tape, but that gives a very, very definite look. And this is again something I learned with Sami Khouzami, that he does not like those chiseled sharp. You can do those, you can create those features or that sharpness in the end with, using or cleaning it with a concealer or with a wipe or something like that. So that tape look I don't like doing because it really pulls on this area of the face, and this is very, very it's very, very sensitive, okay, and it pulls very easily, so I don't like using tape. Like mine is quite definite, but I have not used a tape to do this. Okay, again, now the key to good makeup is blending, and what you need to keep doing is blending. Don't ever never be in a hurry to do so, because once you see the beauty of makeup when it blends, then you will never do bad. Okay. Okay, and when you're bringing in color into the eye, make sure it doesn't go into the into the inner corner of the eye. Try to keep in the center of the eyelid. Okay, so now you see how I am working on these lids and how nicely that little pinky purplish shade that has come about. I'm going to now take a little bit of red, okay, and I'm going to incorporate that in my color palette here to give it more of a pinky shade. It doesn't look red, but it, you know, gives that beautiful glowy pink look that I want to create in the eye. All right, so I'm going to be using two palettes. Sami Khouzami, in his masterclass, he used this palette. This is the Saharan by Juvia's. So you see this, I'm going to take a little bit of this Sokoto, this color. Just, you know, I'm going to pick it up a little bit and I'm going to dust it off. Again, I'm going to take a little bit, dust it off, and bring that into the corner of the eye. Now you can see how much dimension is coming into the eye. And because she has small eyes, this will prove to you guys that how you can make your eyes look more prominent. Her skin is probably shining a lot more right now because it's under the light. So don't worry about that. We'll work with that after as well. Okay, so now you see how I have done, I have created that outer crease. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe on color into the center of the eyelids, okay? Now halo eyes are a very big deal these days. A lot of people like doing halo eyes. Halo eyes is not really for small eyes. It's because it brings your eyes closer together. So I prefer not doing halo eyes on her because it will bring. Why do you highlight this point? So that it sets your eyes apart. You understand what I'm saying? So they look more elaborate and they're longer. Okay, so that's why we try not putting a darker color in the corner of the eye, because it gives that illusion that your eyes are too sunken, first of all, and that it reduces. So I'm going to take this color Trust Fund, okay, and because Huda's colors are very pigmented, I usually use my fingers. You usually have to use your fingers because it doesn't pick up properly on the brush. Again, I'm going to take Trust Fund and I'm going to spread it around her. Now I'm going to take a little bit of Blessed. It says #blessed. Okay, and I'm going to put that to give that. So now that I've applied that glitter, I'm going to just take the brush that I was working with before and I'm just going to sort of dab it on there so that it becomes a little softer and it sort of meshes. Okay, please. Yeah, close your eyes. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little, same brush, okay? I'm going to add a little bit of black. It's called Black Truffle towards the corners of the eyes. Don't squint your eye, don't close your eyes. Sorry. No problem. Okay. When you're working with eyes which might have creases on top, then just pull the eyebrow like this so that you can work better. You get a better canvas to work on. Again, as I said, you deposit the color over here. Okay. All right, so I am taking that in and blending the life out of it. And okay, and guys, when you are doing your makeup, please make sure you do your eyes simultaneously. You do not finish one eye and then come to the next one that, oh, I will recreate this on the other eye. That is very, very tough to do, and most of the time, because when you start playing with colors, you forget most of the time that what colors all that you have used. So you want to do you want to recreate it simultaneously. You understand? And you please see how much time I am spending on blending. one more trick that Tamanna does is she takes her brush like this and she sort of swoops it around the inner corner, like the crease, so that this part of the brush, it stays over here, and the brush, the softer, the smaller bristles, they go up and they create this beautiful shadow on top. All right, so this is the motion that you have to. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean this fallout here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull her eye and I'm going to try cleaning on this side so that it creates that, because I'm going to take this and repeat this under the eye also, so I don't want that very sharp edge anyways. Okay. There's no eyeliner, no nothing. I haven't even done the underside of her eyes, but look how much longer her eyes look. Can you show them like this? Okay, so what I'm putting is now Smoky Storm by Stila. I'm gonna add a little bit. I'm not doing too much, just a little bit. You sort of just dab it on because you don't want too much glitter. So this will give that beautiful bronzy gold look that I absolutely love. And it's super easy to do because just give it a second to dry. Where's my little fan that I can use on her? Okay, so you see that? Now you're gonna just sort of dab it so that it doesn't stand out too much. So it looks like it's sort of well meshed in together. I'm gonna take another brown from this Tarte palette that I used before. I'm just gonna dab that in the corner of the eye so that there's a darker color that's meshing these two colors in. Okay, there's like an in-between color. Okay. You can look at your eyes.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. So the eyeliner brush I'm using is by Amna. Okay, I love her stuff as well. And the eyeliner I'm using is by Cryolin. It's Aqua Color 071. So I've learned a lot of my tricks from her as well. We actually attended the... So see, the beauty of this pen is that it's bent like this. So, you know, so this sort of gives you more control over the pen, over the brush when you're applying the eyeliner. So, okay. So this is an aqua liner. It needs water to, you know, sort of... Mubin, can you hold this like this? Thank you. It's quite intense, this liner. Okay, the trick of the eyeliner is getting it as thin as possible, because getting it thick is easy. It's the thinness that is... Okay, can you just... Yeah, look at me like that, okay? So I'm dipping it into water and using water with it, because it's like this little cream-based thing. All right, so I'm going to bring that in a little bit. All right, guys, I'm gonna use the lashes now. I'm using Demi Wispies by Ardell. So what I'm gonna do is, because they're very long, okay, so I need to cut them according to her eye shape and the length of her eye. So I'm gonna take maybe 2 spots off of this because her eyes are not that long, and I don't want them to bother her. So please cut them so that they are comfortable for you. Yeah, they'll see. Fine. Okay. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. So we will just be back after applying the lashes. All right, guys, so I have applied her lashes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I'm going to put foundation all over her face. First, I'm going to use primer. So the primer, again, the primer I'm going to be using is Beautify by Amna. I'm again in love with this product. I've been using it on myself as well. I'm wearing it right now as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take that and I'm going to apply it around her. Now the purpose of a primer is so that it blocks out the pores and gives a flawless base to your... With applying the foundation on her face, I will be using Masarat Misbah foundation on her face because I think it'll do her very good. and it's very good for oily skin, because in Pakistan, you know, most of our faces get oily because of the heat and the issues over there. So I'm going to use Masarat Misbah. I really like the coverage of this foundation. I'm just going to take the beauty blender and I'm going to dab it all around her face. And I like to do my foundation before the correcting for a reason. There's a specific reason, because it reduces the cakiness of your makeup. So when you apply foundation, a lot of people, they do the color correction first and then they apply the foundation. But for me, I like doing it the other way because it reduces the amount of product that you're lathering on your skin. Therefore, you look. I'm going to do the under part of her eyes after I am done with the foundation and everything, because I want her under eyes to be corrected perfectly. Why is there so much product over here? Okay, so I think we've evenly... The reason, again, of using the foundation first is because foundation is already pigmented and it usually covers most of your flaws, so, or your pigmentation. So then you don't require that much product to, you know, correct and conceal. So that's the reason I do foundation first. Never forget your neck, please, because you don't want your neck looking a different color than your face. Now look at me. Yeah. There you go. So now that I have applied foundation all over her face, please let me... Okay guys, so I just want to give you a close look to her skin right now. Okay, you see that it's only now her forehead and her nose is shining, but other than that, there is no other shine that you can see. So we will work on this. I'm going to go back, hand it over to her so that I can continue working on the face. Okay, so the corrector that I'll be using is this orange corrector by Pro Conceal, LA Girl Pro Conceal. I will just use, this is very highly pigmented, so please do not use too much of this product because you will turn your face into orange then. So this is the corrector that I have started using as well. And usually around this area there is slight darkness, so you just dab a little bit and around this area because she's got a deep nose. Okay, but just see how little of the product I have used. All right, so now when I start dabbing it, I will not take the product and take it here and there. I will just press it into wherever I have applied it. Okay, so no moving it around from where it's supposed to just stay. Okay, look up for me please. This is very important because you don't want the color. Alright, so now as you can see, there's that peachy indent on her face everywhere. I'm going to use Tarte Shape Tape Concealer around her under eyes and everything again. Now this is face mapping that comes about. Samer Khouzami is known for his face mapping. Okay, this is in the shade Light Medium. All right, so that is what face mapping looks like. So these are the high points of your face. All right, now again, start with dabbing where it's supposed to be. Do not run around the face and, you know, use it everywhere. Okay. Now you see that her under eyes have absolutely disappeared. You see that? You see that? Your under eyes are gone. Yeah. Okay, but you look washed out right now. Don't worry. I will add color to your face. She's like, what is this woman doing to me? So the powder I'm using is a banana powder from the Kat Von D palette in the, what is it? In that Anastasia palette. It's the banana powder as well. It's the shade banana in the light to medium, the medium palette. Okay, so this is to set the under eyes. Why am I setting the under eyes? Is because she has oily skin. So I am going to set everywhere. I have used concealer so that it doesn't run off from her face. This brush is also a tapered brush, tapered powder brush from Amna, Beautify by Amna. So now this is the Kat Von D palette, the shade in light. I'm going to use the medium tone because the dark one is too dark for her skin. The medium. Now, what did I tell you before? That we're going to create an illusion that she has a sharper jawline and cheekbones. Okay. So again, this is the Makeup Forever brush in 158, and I'm just going to take a little bit of product, dust it off because this is angled. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it a little bit more. Just look over here for me, okay? And I will take from on top of her ear down to her lip. I will create that imaginary line here. Can you see that I am adding? Please make sure that, that your contour doesn't turn out blotchy, because if it's blotchy, then it looks really bad. Okay, so now the next map that you have to do is from the ear down to the chin. So this is where you put the shade for the jawline, and you brush it down onto the neck. Okay, and this one you take up. You do not bring it down. I have seen so many people when they put the contour, they have like this big punch of a black color over here, a brown color. Now you see how soft her contour is, but it will also do the job of making her features more chiseled. Okay, and if it runs down, because she has less space over here, she doesn't have a big face, so we can clean it up a little bit so that it looks sharper and it does the purpose of the. Can you look there, please? Again, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, taking the center. So I'm creating that line from the top of the ear to. Okay, so you blend upwards. Okay, you do not blend downwards for the cheekbone. And here, from the bottom of the ear down to your chin. This is where you will map the contour line. Look at me. Again, I'm just adding a little bit more product. I'm not using cream. Usually Tamanna and Samir Khouzami, they both use cream products. I'm using powder because again, she has very oily skin. So I don't want to, and I don't want to make it so defined and so definite. She's not going in front of the camera or for a photo shoot. Okay, she has a beautiful nose, so I'm not going to contour it as much, but just to add a little bit of definition to her nose, I will write at the bottom over here. Nose contour brush, it's tapered, as you can see. I will take the same product and I will just sort of sharpen her nose a bit. Okay. Highlight that I'm using is Saleha Beauty. This is one of my personal favorites, and the likes of Tamanna as well. This is called Give Me the Glow by Saleha Beauty. It's Hollywood Gold. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a flat brush, like a flat brush. It's a powder brush. Okay, I'm just gonna take some of the product on the corner, the side of the brush, and I'm gonna highlight those cheekbones. Okay. This is my favorite part in makeup highlighting. I love a good highlighter. On the nose, and I can use my finger and do that to give it a little bit more lift. I'll take the brush again, and you see how her Cupid's bow is standing out, and a little bit on the. Okay, so the palette I'm using, the blush palette I'm using is Makeup Revolution Sugar and Spice. Okay, I'm gonna just take two colors. This one, I don't know what the name of the color is, this and this. Dust it off, smile for me please. And this needs to go on the apple of the cheek. Smile for me, exaggerate it, yeah. Because that's, when you make the person smile like that, then their apple of the cheeks pop out. Smile again. her brows, I'll be using the Anastasia Brow Definer. This is in the shade dark brown. Just gonna sort of go with the flow of her hair, the direction of her hair, and trace it a bit. There you go. And then the spoolie, you just have to brush it off with that. She has good thick eyebrows. You don't have to like really overdraw them. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do the under eye area. I'm gonna dust it with a little color. Okay, I'm gonna recreate what I did on the eyes on top. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the pink and brown and a little bit of black. So I mixed all three colors here. Okay, dusted it off, and I'm gonna use. Now I'm gonna take the same highlighter that I used with a small tapered pointer brush. Okay, and I'm going to highlight the inner corner of her eye. Because she has small eyes, I'm going to underline, I'm going to line her waterline with a white pencil. Laura, the white liner pencil, look up for me, please. Eyes are looking. You see that? How do you like it, Mubin?
I love it. Very nice, yeah.
Okay.
Just need to go somewhere nice now.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we will do a very pink lip. Now I'm going to outline her lips. This is just, you can use any random pencil, that doesn't matter. Lips don't end up bleeding. Okay, bleeding means that the color doesn't run through to the side of your lips. Okay, I have these wands. Okay, so I'm gonna mix two colors. I will tell you which ones. One is a color by Bourjois. What is that? It's the cotton. Okay, and the other one is by Lime Crime. These are two of my very, very, very all-time favorite colors. The trick is, if it even gets messy during, your application, make sure you clean up after you are done with your makeup. Can you do a little bit? Tools are very important when you're doing makeup. Make sure you do not compromise on tools. And especially if you're doing makeup for other people, then make sure that you have to take care of hygiene. I want to set the face. I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter. Close your eyes for me, please. Look this way. Okay, Mubin, could you look right? Like, move your face right to left and left. Okay, look down. Show me your eyes. Look at that. Look at the highlight. Look how gorgeous her face looks, mashallah. And how different her eyes look from what they looked in the beginning. I want to show you guys in different lights her makeup that you guys can see. See, this is the very heavy makeup light, and that's natural light. That's absolutely natural light. See how natural she looks? She doesn't look caked up. She doesn't, even though I've done quite dramatic on her eyes, she looks fabulous. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
So are you happy with it?
Yes, I'm very happy, and I'm glad I did it with my good friend.
Oh, thank you. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial that I gave on this lovely friend of mine, Mubin, and it started off as a different look, and then I ended up doing Tamanna's classic cut crease look. So I hope a soft cut crease, actually, not the very definite one. So I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And my Instagram is makeup101 by Kulsoom, makeup101 _by Kulsoom. And my Facebook page is also makeup101 by Kulsoom Haseeb. So I hope you guys follow me, and you know, if you like my work, if you like my way of teaching, spread the word. Be nice to each other. Thank you, Beauty Hooked, for giving me this opportunity. I absolutely love taking over your Snapchat, and I'm going to sign off now. And thank you so much. That's all I have to say. Bye bye.